It's Amanda and Amanda. Welcome to today's episode of Amanda and Amanda. I'm Amanda.
And believe it or not, I'm still a man.
So
man.
Our countdown to Halloween is getting closer and closer and closer, and it's almost here. Halloween is next week.
I know, I'm stoked.
Yeah, dude.
Except for I'm not going to be in the country for it.
Yeah, where are you going to be?
Mexico City
that'd
for
be cool.
the Day of the Dead.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
sweet.
You know, this is so intense having you stare at me. I don't like it one bit. So as part of celebrating...
It's Halloween. I gotta wear a mask, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. So one of the best parts about Halloween is the Halloween candy, I would say, right? That's something everyone looks forward to.
Totally.
But you always have the pieces of candy at the bottom of your pillowcase that then sit in a bowl on your living room table, and no one ever eats it for like months, right? It's the worst candy.
It's the candy you get at your grandparents' house because they don't know what good candy is. They don't know what these whippersnappers want these days.
Yeah.
So they get
you're
your
right.
bad candy, and that's the kind you don't eat.
Yeah, you're right. But, you know, have you seen that do you watch Gravity Falls?
No, I do not.
Well, there's an episode of Gravity Falls where all of the loser candy, like the bad candy, you know, forms into a monster, and it just wants to be loved. It just wants someone to eat him and be happy. But
that is sad.
Yeah, I know. So I thought we could eat some of the loser candy and rank them.
Yeah.
To see which ones truly are the worst and which ones like maybe aren't that bad, you know? So let's start off. We've got some Good and Plenties, which gross.
That's actually legitimate. Like my grandma legitimately likes Good and Plenty.
Ugh,
I remember seeing that at my grandparents' house growing up.
Yeah. I've got some Charleston Chews, which I don't think I've ever had.
I have had a Charleston Chew.
I've got some Tootsie Rolls. This was on a list of like least popular candy. I like Tootsie Rolls. So.
My wife likes Tootsie Rolls, but
Yeah.
I just don't think they're that great of a candy. You know?
Yeah. And we got some Smarties, a classic. Maybe we can snort some later. Did you do that when you were in elementary school and middle school?
No, what we used to do is we would take it and we would grind together the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'd grind it and sit there and grind it until basically the middle piece is just powder.
Uh-huh.
Then we'd unwrap like the ends. And we'd
smoke it. Don't do drugs, even when it's candy.
Candy
drugs.
cigarette.
Yeah, and then we also have cellos. Cellos? I think they're cellos. It's basically like, what are those called? An amaretto cherry? Amaretto cherry? You know what I'm talking
Maraschino
about?
cherry?
Yeah.
A maraschino cherry?
Yeah. What's amaretto?
I don't know. Is that a type of cherry? I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, yeah. Those, the really candy cherries, I think it's that and chocolate. So I'm kind of excited for those. I bet they're going to be gross. All right. Let's start off with classic Smartie, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Are you actually going to be able to eat this?
I love Smarties. We'll see.
Should we just pack all of them in our mouths, not focus on flavors? Do they really even have different flavors?
Yeah.
on color?
I would say
Oh.
they would. They do, or they do.
Are we going to go color by color, or are we just going to pop it in?
I say we just take the whole sack like that.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't make...
Oh, no. It's one that...
in your mouth. Oh, it fell out on the floor. It tastes like sugar. I hate that. There's another lunch dog. But... Okay, you've committed. This ain't
I
as big
love
as the
Smarties.
bank.
It's like a step down from Sweet Tarts, in my opinion. But they're cheap, and I like them.
Yeah, you want to guess how much this package cost?
Like 10 cents.
6 cents.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like sugar, but it's not like overly sweet, you know?
Right. But I can see how it could easily be overlooked amidst a lot of the other, like, more popular candies.
Yeah.
Even though Smarties are still good.
No, grab a guard.
It's like a last resort candy. Like if you're like low
So
blood
desperate
sugar,
for
you're like,
sugar.
I'm about to have like a diabetic coma, then you
Yeah.
whip out a Smartie.
All right, next on the list, Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, this is gonna take forever.
Oh no,
Taffy.
oh no.
Oh, did you drop it on the
Yeah,
ground?
it's all good. I got it.
10-second rule,
Oh, this is hard.
or 10-day rule, as we
my
say in the
goodness.
jungle.
In the jungle.
In the jungle.
Whoa. You know,
How old are these
I
Tootsie
think
Rolls?
the problem is just that
Are
I
these
bought it
literally
today.
from last Halloween?
No, I bought it today, but it tastes like they're from last Halloween. It's pretty rough. I mean, well, here's the thing. I like the flavor of it.
My jaw pop.
Uh-huh.
I don't like. What is the flavor though? Like, what is it supposed to be?
Chocolatey?
What
Hold
is
on,
the
let's throw it
flavor
away.
of Tootsie Rolls? Is it? I just bit my lip.
Oh, no.
Oh. Tootsie Rolls, you stink.
You know, the ingredient list is sugar, corn syrup, palm oil. That's bad for the environment. Condensed skim milk, cocoa, whey, soy, artificial, and natural flavors. What's a natural flavor of Tootsie Rolls?
I don't know. I always thought for a while it's supposed to taste like a root beer type candy, but it's like
think it's supposed to be
trying to be
chocolatey.
chocolate in a taffy form. Chocolate should not be in a taffy form. It should be in a chocolate
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. It just feels like another one of those candies. It's like if I was desperate, I'd eat it.
Ah. Gross.
All right. Want some good and plenties?
Hold on.
This is a fat-free candy. Did you know that? Also, this is such a giant box. They didn't have anything smaller.
Jeez Louise! I'm just gonna. I know I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it to
Are you
two.
just, two?
A pink and a white.
Hold on.
A good and a plenty. Is that whether it's like the white one good and the pink one plenty? Oh, I'm
Ready?
gonna hate my life. I hate
Ready?
these.
Ready? Let go. Oh, these are hard too. Are they supposed to be hard?
Ah! They taste exactly like I remember them. I don't want to gag. Do not want to throw up in this mouth.
Please do not. Just spit it out, dude. I can't even chew the licorice. It's rock hard.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You know what? I'm still going. I mean, I don't like it.
It's
I'm gonna
just-
eat these, but
Licorice, like
I don't hate
black
it.
licorice flavor, is so nasty.
yeah, I don't know who likes that.
It's like, it reminds me of I love my grandpa to death, but he ate black licorice all the time.
Gross.
And it's just like, ew, ew.
You ready for a Charleston Chew?
Well, heck yeah, dude, this is a step up.
So it's like, I've never had these before. So it says vanilla flavored. So
there's
like, is it vanilla on the inside?
It's like, yeah, there's like a vanilla type filling, I think.
Inside of chocolate.
This actually looks somewhat appetizing.
Ready? Oh, it's so hard.
They're just chewy.
I don't like this.
Let's see, behind Smarties, I think this is the best one. Like
What am I eating?
I wouldn't go out and get it myself. But if I was jonesing for some candy, and like my wife had the car or something, this was laying around,
Yeah.
I'd definitely eat it.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to finish it. Here's the thing about me. I'm not a picky eater, so like, if food is offered, I'll pretty much eat it. Sorry, this really isn't very fascinating. Maybe I should insert a video of us dancing.
Yeah, you could do that. Time lapses.
Oh, there's so much vanilla stuff.
I'm still chewing.
It's called a Charleston Chew for a reason. It's supposed to be like you're chewing tobacco. Maybe.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
Oh no. But do you think that? Maybe.
Well, if that was the case, you get a little dip and put it right here. Hey, what's that? Oh! I found the Smartie! What a pleasant surprise.
This just never ends.
Well,
Okay, I'm done. It's just like a wad.
not
Alright,
bad.
for our last, we have the mysterious cherry balls.
I'm like scared for this one.
Oh, they don't smell great. Oh. I'm literally smelling it. Don't smell it.
Don't smell it.
No, you should smell it, but it doesn't smell good.
Food should smell appetizing. I do not want to eat it if it does not smell good.
It
Can't
just.
even get the can't even get the wrapper
Can you
off.
see anything?
I can. It's kind of hard.
It smells like Play-Doh. That's exactly what this smells
Wait, how
like.
old are these?
I bought these all today.
Oh.
Like literally like 15 minutes ago.
I just feel like
They came from
like
a
they
drawer in
literally
my house.
yeah.
No.
Like when you're visiting somebody that you know,
No.
like some acquaintance, and you're just like,
Sure.
you got like a little
Hey.
candy bowl.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Do you want help?
I cannot. I can see it. I just can't get it off.
Oh, what the? Yours is stuck on there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wrapping
the
is,
convenience store inside SUU kind of failing us today.
that's where you got these?
Yeah,
Oh.
I love that place. I go there a lot.
Oh. Ow! Okay, here we go.
Are you doing the whole thing? Well, it tastes like how we described it. Oh. Ooh.
Trying to go slow.
I do not enjoy it. I hate this.
I don't like it. This is a struggle.
Oh, it makes my teeth hurt.
Deep breaths.
Oh,
Oh.
yep, hated that.
Oh.
Okay.
It's so gross.
All right.
Okay. Oh. No more. No more.
Oh,
Oh.
my teeth hurt. I feel like I just got 10 cavities. I'm gonna
Ugh.
brush my teeth. Okay, so I'm gonna say. Oh, you know, that might have been my least favorite. I don't think I could eat that again. I feel like I could eat everything else we had again except for that.
Yeah, I agree.
So at the
I
bottom
agree.
of the list, I'm gonna go with the weird
Cherry thing.
cherry thing. Next has got to be freaking Good and Plenty.
Good and Plenty sucks.
Yeah.
Whoever thought this would be a good candy?
Yeah, you were wrong. After that, Charleston Chew for sure. Or do you like Charleston Chew better than Tootsie Roll?
I do. I like, for me, Good and Plenty is fourth, Tootsie Roll is third, then it goes Charleston Chew, then Smarties.
I think it goes Cherry in last place, Good and Plenty, Charleston Chew, Tootsie Roll, Smartie.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know what? Maybe the next time you get a pillowcase full of Smarties, don't throw those out.
There you go.
Eat them. Or give them to us. We'll eat them.
Eat 'em.
Yeah.
Save them for a rainy day, or I guess. Put it in your piggy bank with the little spare change you get, you know.
You want some
We're gonna
more?
have to take a break. I got
Yeah, no,
sticky
go
fingers.
wash your hands.
Ah!
How's that beard looking?
A man just had to.
There's like my chin sits is what I would say. My sin chits. My sin. My chin sits in like this little. There's like this little cup for like the jaw on the mask, and like I just want to have like a weird crease in my beard. That
Looks-
would really just grind my gears.
Okay. Another great part of Halloween, the spooky stories. And luckily, Amanda and I. Oh, we didn't do our spooky intro like we did last week.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot,
I
we'll
don't
do
even
it
know
out.
how to do it.
Don't even. Yeah, I don't remember either. Luckily, Amanda and I have had some pretty spooky encounters. So, you want to start? Do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, yours is probably better than mine anyway.
Mine involves the supernatural.
So I've had a lot of ghost encounters, I feel like. I don't know, maybe not that many, but but one that really sticks out in my brain. So my sophomore year, I'm in chemistry, and you know how science classes, like, the teacher is down here, and then it's kind of like a raised seating, you know? Like very stereotypical science class,
Oh.
you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. That was not my school.
Okay, well,
Hashtag not my school.
yeah, sure. So,
But I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I've
yeah.
seen enough videos. in
yeah, exactly.
college
You've seen
lecture halls.
movies? Yeah. So, that's what our class looked like. And I'm on the back row, and we're listening to her lecture,
Right here.
and we hear, like, banging on the wall that's right next to us, and there's another class on the other side of that wall. So we were like, what are they doing? Like, it sounded like they were, like, chucking chairs at the wall. Like, it was so loud and all over the wall. We were like, what the heck? And so,
What the double HE hockey sticks?
So, this girl was like, okay, I'm gonna go see what's going on. And she was like, yeah, sure. So she stands up to go, and as soon as she stands up, the teacher from the other class comes in, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're all like, what do you mean, what are we doing? What are you doing?
Could you make that noise again?
Yeah, and
What?
we were like, hold on, what? You're not making that noise? And he was like, no, we thought you were. You were disrupting our class. And we
You
were
think
like,
he was like
nah,
trying
dude.
to prank y'all?
So, I don't think so, because, just wait. So, there was also a boy in that class next to me who I was in love with. Jello, if you're watching this. Actually, I really don't like him.
His
so.
name's Jello? Or is that a nickname?
His full name is Helacio, because he's Hispanic.
Oh,
He just went by Jello.
yeah, go by Jello for sure, man.
Yeah.
Pro-life choice.
Anyway, it really didn't work out, but at the time, I really liked him. So I texted him and I was like, hey, what are you guys doing over there? Why is it so loud? Ha 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 ha. And he was like, we're not doing anything. What the blank are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm swearing. Ha ha ha. You know?
He's like, oh, he's a bad boy.
Exactly. He
Swearing.
was a senior.
Oh
He
my
was-
gosh.
I
Why was he
know.
in a sophomore class?
Well, no, he wasn't in my class. He was in the class next to me.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
total sense. It's
Anyway, that was really off topic. But the
like-
point is
you're
that he
a
was
really,
like
obviously unintelligent guy.
No.
Senior in a sophomore class.
No. Anyway, so the other teacher was like, all right, I'm gonna go grab a janitor because maybe there's like something like stuck in the wall or something, like a bird,
Sure.
you know? We were like, sure.
Bird.
So he leaves to go get a janitor. While he's gone, there's a filing cabinet that's pushed up against that wall and it starts shaking. And we're all like, ah! And it's like right next to where I'm sitting. And my friend Henry was sitting like right next to it and he goes, what do you want from me?
I would have been like so scared, but then I would have laughed.
Yeah.
That comment would have got me. I'd
It
be
was
like,
so,
oh my
yeah,
God.
no, it was very funny. So we all like kind of scooted away from this filing cabinet. So like, what?
Oh my.
So the janitor comes back and he's like, hey, so like I just went up on the roof and like there isn't a panel loose or anything. There's no way that anything could get in this wall. Like, no way. Like from the roof, there's no way anything could be in there. So I don't know. And we were like, it's the ghosts. It's the ghosts. So my high school used to be a prison.
Really?
Yeah, and there's like
did
this
not know
rumor
that.
that like the reason our school colors are black and white is because like black and white prison uniforms. I don't know if that's
That
true,
is awesome.
but it's a funny
That's
rumor.
totally true.
We also have like this scary like bomb shelter in our school. You
Oh,
just
sure,
go down
yeah, you
these
betcha.
stairs, you know, and there's lots of like tanks full of like water and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so he leaves and we're all like, ooh, spooky, but like the banging is still happening and it's really loud. And our teacher's like, listen, I don't know if I can finish, like I'm so distracted, but like let's try to get through a little bit more. So she keeps going, and this boy who's sitting a couple people away from me, his name is Matt, he like has his head down on the desk, right? And our teacher was like, hey Matt, like you awake? Are you listening? Come on. And he like looks up, and I've never seen anyone look more pale. Like all color was just gone from his face. And so he like looks up and we're all like, oh, and people like literally people like slide away from him because they're like, uh-oh. And she's like, oh, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I just like, I don't know, I don't feel very well. I can't really like see anything. And we were like, what? He's like, I don't know. And he just starts mumbling. Like he's just like, I can't see. We were like, ah! And so our teacher's like, yeah, Matt, maybe you should like go to the nurse's office or something. And he's like, yeah, okay. And so he like stands up and falls over. And we're like, ah! So his
snap.
friends have to help carry him down the staircase. He goes to the nurse's office. And after that, our teacher was like, okay, we're done with class. Like, this is too scary.
Everybody GTFO.
You know, yeah. And then the next day, we got back to class. Matt was there, and we were like, hey, dude, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, man, I don't really remember anything. I remember getting to class. I remember feeling a little weird. And then I was at my house, and I was like, yeah, that's called possession, son. Our teacher was like, yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Like, it didn't happen at all for the rest of the day in any of my classes. It hasn't happened since then, but
Spirit found
So-
its vessel and then was transported out of the prison.
yeah. So
It was a spirit breakout.
oh my gosh, you're right.
That's straight up what it was.
Yeah.
Because it was a prison, so obviously it was like.
So where did it go
gotta
from
get out.
there? Just in
It's
Matt's
just like
body?
I had to get out of the prison. You know, once
Well,
he
this
once,
is a
once he was
fantastic theory.
possessed and like he went
Just
home.
wanted to escape,
It
go
just
on
wanted to get
vacation.
out and like be freed or whatever.
And it was like banging on the wall to get out. It somehow got out. Oh my gosh. I got chills. That's fantastic. Wow. Yeah, so if you still go to Highland High,
totally
look
it.
out. Alright, that's my ghost story.
Well, the best ghost story I have
Am I gonna get spooked?
might be freaky to some people, but so I'm a Moab native, and the southeastern region of Utah is notorious for skinwalker stories.
So skinwalkers are like animals that like
Yeah, well, so
are possessed
I
or
mean,
something, right?
correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if there are even comments for this, but
Does anyone watch this?
pretty much it's like, so what I've known about it is that skinwalkers are like a half animal, half person, or like a person who can sort of like morph and have animal traits, and it kind of has evolved from like a shaman in like a, you know, in a tribal setting, like a shaman who kind of delves into some of the dark, you know, magic or whatever, and usually it's like a medicine man or somebody like that. They kind of have to do like this sort of dark act or like a sacrifice to obtain these powers.
Okay.
And then, but eventually it's like, if you mess with it too much, it's kind of the story goes like you end up becoming somewhat evil and, you know, things like that. So typically, so to kind of preface this, I was with the group of friends I was with at the time. One of them had his own prior skinwalker experience when he was like out camping with his scouts down in like Blanding, and
Yeah.
like Blanding is pretty close to like the reservation, and there's still tribes down there, you know, people that are descended from the tribes in that area. So anyway, he's down there, and he said, like, he's out camping, and he said he saw one, and it was like, he basically said it looked like the werewolf from Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban.
Lupin?
Yeah, Lupin. It looked like Lupin. That's what it looked like. It was like kind of tall, walked on two legs, but it was like bow-legged, and like, he said what happened, so when he was falling asleep. So he said he heard something in the woods. He got up to like use the bathroom. And he went to like the tree line because they're kind of camping in a meadow, and he like saw like glowing eyes and heard like a growl. and it was like, you know, he just brush snapping, start coming towards him, and he just tears off back to camp and like almost as like a slide to home base, except for home base was like the fire. It's because he was going so fast, and everybody's like, oh, so calm down, and so they all like, you know, he gets calmed down, and they go to sleep, and it's like late at night, and it's kind of like somewhat a full moon. It's a is waxing? Is that when it's getting bigger? It's a waxing moon, so it's pretty bright out, and he hears again crashing in the brush by the tree line. He's like, oh crap! Sees a deer sprint out and go across the meadow. He can see it pretty well in the moonlight, and just like a second after the deer breaks the tree line, out comes this bow-legged wolf-like creature, dead two-legged sprint just after it, tears across the meadow. And he said he was just like frozen, like while he was watching it. Super creepy. Anyway, so fast forward. That was probably when he was like 11 or 12. Excuse me. We are now in our junior. It was our senior year of high school, and we were just messing around one night, and like we come out of this restaurant, and like it's a full moon, and there's like these kind of clouds that are like obscuring it ever so slightly, and there's this big old gnarly tree in the way. And it was like super kind of creepy. Yeah. But we come out, and it was Garrett, and I was with my friend Andy, and they're like, dude, look at that moon. That's a Ouija moon right there.
No.
And I was like, WTF is a Ouija moon? I'm like, what? Like, what is that even? What is it? What even is that? You know, it's not a real thing. But they just like, it was a creepy setting, or so whatever reason. They're like, oh yeah, let's play with the Ouija board. And my friend Andy had a Ouija board, but then he like let his ex-girlfriend borrow it. And then she like lived in LaSalle and didn't have it.
My ex-girlfriend won't give me back my Ouija board.
Exactly. Super
like shows
weird.
up. Hey, I want my Ouija board back.
No, we were literally calling. We're like, hey, do you have the Ouija board by chance? You know, like we couldn't get a hold of her. So then we decided, well, shoot, we'll just make our own. So we like cut out a piece of cardboard and printed a picture of a Ouija board off the internet. And then used like packing tape to like kind of laminate it.
Did it work? I guess, because
Yeah.
you're gonna tell us a scary story.
So and then my friend Garrett decided, we called him Gwiz, that was his nickname. Gwiz decided, for the planchette, let's just cut out like the shape of a ram's head for the planchette. Why not? Like this is really creepy. So we decide to head up to Sand Flats.
PSA. Don't do this. That's it.
Yes, the moral of the story will be don't do this, but this is a story. We head up to Sand Flats, which is above the Moab Rim, and supposedly the Moab Valley, if like you're within, like in the valley, it's like been blessed by some person at some point in time. You know, like the whole myth or lore of the area is like it's been blessed, so there's no skinwalkers coming there. So we decided to go up above the rim out to Sand Flats, to supposedly where it's not protected. And we're trying to communicate with the spirit with this Ouija board, right? And we're all there, and we got like these candles like lit in like the shape of a pentagram, just for funsies. So the reason I agreed to do this was because I'm thinking like this is all bull crap. Like there's no way this is real. Like they're just trying to like be spooky or whatever, and you know, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not. You know, I didn't think it was real. So I'm like, I'm the non-believer. I'm just going up there just for fun, you know. And so we go up there, and we find like there's this cool little like camping area, and there's like kind of this alcove, kind of cave sort of thing that we set up in, and we've got the candles lit, and we light a fire, a campfire, and we're just trying to communicate with spirit. And for like 20 minutes, like there's nothing, and I'm like, oh, see, you know, there's nothing. You fools. Anyway,
You fools.
and then Gwiz gets this brilliant idea, and he just like leans down towards the board, and he's like, I have an idea. And I'm like, okay. And he's just like, so when you play with a Ouija board, you're supposed to ask like yes or no questions, or a question that the spirit can supposedly move the planchette to spell out something, you know. And so like yes or no are your primary go-tos. And so he leans down and he's like, are there any skinwalkers nearby? And like it's like he says that, and the planchette starts to move. And I'm like, yo, are you doing this? I'm like yelling. I'm like, you better not be punking me, man. Like, cause like we barely had any pressure on it at all. We each had two fingertips like this, and we barely were touching it, and it was just like, it just starts moving, and it just hovers directly over yes. And as soon as like the middle of it reached yes, the fire, it was a pretty big fire, just goes out, candles go out, and we're like, oh! We gonna freaking. I had like a knife, and I like get out, like I get my knife out, and I'm like, get the fire started, get the fire started, go! We're like freaking out, and yelling, we're like huddled together, we're like, get the fire going! Like it was so terrifying. Just like that sequence of events was so terrifying.
Oh my
like it was
gosh.
so scary.
Yeah.
And like, fortunately, like nothing happened because we got the fire built up again, and like we redact that statement. Like we
Never mind,
don't want to
just
know, you know. And like you think like that would scare us off, but we decided to keep going and keep asking the spirit questions. And so basically, we do communicate with the spirit. It said, to kind of make this very short, the spirit said its name was Tad. It was like one of the first people to like live in the Moab Valley, in like died in like 1898 or something like that. Was like a rustler. He said he was killed or murdered by his lover, whose name was only the initial Z. And like we're like, oh, this is interesting, you know. And then like the reason he left and stopped talking to us is because I was kind of like, after this conversation that we've had, I'm like, I kind of like chuckled under my breath. I was like, his name's Tad. And like then it was just like goodbye. And I was like, no, Tad, wait, I didn't mean to offend you. And like he just left. So then we pack up the Ouija board. We go down to Moonflower Canyon, down in the valley, and like this is another kind of creepy spot because it's like this box canyon that goes all the way back. And there's like this area where there's all these like artisans like paintings and things on the side of the walls, and it's super like you shouldn't do it, but it was already there. So we set up there again, and like for whatever reason, like my ears hadn't adjusted because we were up above the rim and then we go down in the valley, so my ears hadn't adjusted the pressure, and like we're playing with the Ouija board game, we're trying to communicate, and like we don't really get talking to a spirit, but Andy and Gwiz swear they hear like this eerie like noise, and they said it almost sounded like an owl, but there's not really like owls in that area, and it was like very just distorted and like, you know, and there's another like legend of this area. There's like a thing called like the River Witch, which is just like a spooky story we tell, like, you know, when we're like girls, when we drive out there and just kind of to spook, because like girls are really gullible. Sorry girls, but just something we tell them to spook the ladies we were with whenever we went out. But anyway, so they get like their faces just drain of color, and they're like, they start going like this. I'm like, what is it? Like, what do you hear? And they're like, they're freaked out of their minds, and they're like, we gotta go, like we gotta get out of here, you know, because like Gwiz was telling us how he had a buddy that was camping there one time and like was kind of sleeping under a ledge that you could see up through to the top of the cliff. There was like a big enough crack, and he said he saw a face like look at him at one point in time. And so he was like, we're trying to go to like these creepy areas so we can talk to spirits. So I was just like, well, I didn't hear anything, so I'll boogie us out of here. So we left. Third time. This is like a week later. I'm with a different friend. I'm with Gwiz again, and then I'm with my friend Brendan this time. We set up just above the cemetery, and we're like, all right, let's go talk to some spirits, you know. And for whatever, I just wanted to show Brendan because I told him the story, and I was like, dude, you gotta come. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing. This is where I stopped doing this because I'm like, this is getting out of hand. We again communicate with the spirit, and after like about 20 minutes, it takes about 20 minutes for anything to happen. We asked its name, and it spells out Jed, J-A-D.
J-A-D?
Excuse me, J-E-D.
Oh, I was like,
J-E-D, Jed. I'm like, Jed, okay,
Tad
cool.
played
And then we're wanting a little bit more specific. We've learned a little bit from our previous experiences. We're not going to be suckered for fools. So we're like, all right, Jed, what's your last name? And so like, this kind of takes about almost 5 minutes for it to completely spell out its name because it was so slow. But it was like, K. N. U. T. S. O. N. And then it stops. I was just like, oh my gosh. I was freaking out because I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any like relatives, deceased relatives by that name. Like I don't know anybody. I even called my grandmother right then and there because she's the genealogist in the family. I'm like, my grandma, do we have any Jeds in our family? And she's like, no, not that I know of. You know, and I'm like, what the freak? And I'm like, how are you related to me? And it was like, it started to get a little confusing from this point, but it was like, it was kind of giving half answers and it was really vague. So it's like it goes 3RD. So I'm thinking like third cousin,
something,
like third, yeah, it's like one's removed, I don't know. And then it starts just kind of going to random letters, and I'm like, what's happening? And we're like trying to get some more information out of the spirit. We're trying to figure out, like, I'm like seriously freaked out because I'm like, this knows me. It knows who I am.
Yeah.
It knows who I am.
I hate that.
And like, it was super freaky, and like, it's being at this point it's getting super confusing. And then we're like, is Jed your real name? And it's like, it says like, no. And it's like, is that a nickname? And it was like, yes. And we're like, can you tell us your real name? It says no. And then like my friend Gwiz is like, is there a rule that you can't tell us your real name? And it said yes. And we're like, it's fishy. It's fishy. And then like Gwiz leans over to me. He's like, maybe it's not really your family member. And then the spirit goes goodbye and just poises out of there. And then Chris is like, dude, you just got punked by a spirit, the undead. And at that point, I was like, all right, I gotta stop playing with the Ouija board because this is getting way too crazy up in here. So kids, don't mess with the Ouija boards, or they'll find out your name and they'll try and come off as your cousin or something. And I don't know what they'll do after that, but it certainly won't be good.
Either way, you'll be unhappy. That's insane. Well, on that happy note,
That's the spooky stories.
should
from
we
Amanda and
spooky sing
Amanda.
us out?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
You gotta do it in like a G sharp minor key or something like that. That's what spooky songs are written in.
Do you know?
I'm just kidding. Just go for it.
Okay. It's Amanda and Amanda. Signing off.